Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the third episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar. I'm your host, James Randall, alongside my broadcast colleague, Jack Colby. We've got an exciting episode here for you today, and I'm happy to be sitting next to you, Jack. How are you?
Very happy to be here. I wasn't really expecting to be invited, but I'm sure we're going to have an exciting set of matches today.
I am so sure that we're going to have an exciting amount of matches here today. But first, we've got Tug Mukau taking on the currently undefeated Damon Ryder.
I never know what to make of Tug. Is he a cow or is he more horse?
Is he cow, horse, man? We're not really too sure. But right now, let's give our announcer his time to speak, and we'll be back in a moment. Your opening contest is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 188 pounds, this is Damon Ryder. Damon Ryder, the unhinged adrenaline junkie of Covenant Pro Wrestling, here to just feel the rush. You've got to wonder if that strategy is going to be fruitful for him with Tug Mukau. Tug Mukau lost his debut match against Damon Ryder, so I think he has a bone to pick with him. What's your take on that, Jack?
I think both are very highly unpredictable opponents, so what happened last match might not even really come into play this match due to the fact that they're just so different from each other. Despite the defeat, Tug still seems to be full of confidence.
He does seem to be full of confidence, and here he is now. And his opponent, making his way to the ring from the farm, weighing in as much as a horse, of course, this is Tug Mukau. Tug Mukau, the unpredictable half-man, half-horse, part cow, potentially making his second appearance here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and I'm sure that he's got all of his pistons running.
Pistons, organs, is he even organic? Do we know that? Has it been firmed, or is he just...
There is a lot that we don't know about Tug Mukau. We're not sure if his footwear are hooves or shoes or boots or what, but I'm sure that he wants to put hooves to asses no matter the case.
Quite fittingly, he wants to kick ass.
Well, I think donkeys are a slightly different family, but I get your point.
Might be a distant cousin.
Might be a distant cousin for sure. And here we go. We see Damon Ryder in the corner getting ready for Tug Mukau.
If I was Tug now, I'd be very, very worried from how Damon Ryder was looking at him. Because he was looking at him with some vicious intent before.
It does definitely seem like Tug Mukau should be worried about Damon Ryder, considering that he does have back-to-back wins right now. Going for an early pin there off of that Spanish fly. And a stomp right to Mukau.
I would have thought he would have known better than pin this early, because Tug isn't a very easy opponent to put down.
He's not a very easy opponent, but Damon Ryder, I guess he's got his head full of all that luck he's been having lately. And it seems to be paying off right now with those feet to the face there.
Let's just hope it's not a case of pride before the fall.
It very well may be. Dragon suplex, dropping Tug Mukau down onto the canvas.
This seems to be a very grappling-heavy style from Ryder from what we're seeing in this match. He seemed not like his strikes.
I think he went there for that springboard DDT, but it did not work, and Damon Ryder slamming him down to the canvas with a springboard DDT of his own. He's got that triangle choke there. Is that going to be enough to put out the heavy-handed horse?
I highly doubt he'd be fading yet, James.
It looks like you are correct in that regard. Damon Ryder giving all of his might to try to take out Tug Mukau. But the Mukau, that nice counter there, and that arm drag taking out Damon Ryder. Going for powerbomb position here. Slamming him down with authority. Tug Mukau.
Ooh, that's a bit of a dirty move, is it not?
I think he got more of the midsection than the groin area, but I see your point. We've got to keep our eyes on that. But our referee, Leonard Seymour, is seeing everything right now, and he's got everything under control.
Tug seems to be trying to improve his aerial performance, but it's just not working for him this match. What do you think about that?
I mean, Tug Mukau does have a history of, doing aerial maneuvers. He has his Tug Splash, pin 1, 2, only a 2 count.
Ooh.
He's got his Tug Splash that he is known for, and he has hit it successfully on many occasions. So I don't know if it's improving or just knocking off the ring rust, but we're definitely here to see what Tug Mukau is going to do next.
I'm thinking Damon Ryder might be setting something up.
Damon Ryder falling on Tug Mukau with that splash.
True.
A lot of using the ropes in this matchup.
Yeah, I've noticed it's a very mobile match so far.
Damon Ryder using a springboard again. I think he was going for a springboard stunner there. And then Tug Mukau finally hitting that springboard DDT and busting Damon Ryder open. Working away on these arms.
I think I can smell the blood from him. He's bleeding quite a bit.
I do smell the copper in the air, and Tug Mukau, like we said, is going up top for that Tug Splash. No, wait a minute, asking Damon Ryder to get up to his feet.
Ooh, what a kick.
Missile drop kick taking Damon Ryder down. But a nice jawbreaker there, right under the snout, as you should say, with Tug. And this is the maneuver he likes to use, a Shining Wizard Bulldog combo.
And this is it? Is this it?
1,
It might be it.
2, and a kick out by Tug Mukau.
I thought it was all over for Tug, if I'm not going to lie. My respect for him has just risen exponentially.
Tug Mukau is indeed a thoroughbred and will not go down easily. Damon Ryder going up top now. What's he gonna do?
And will he hit it?
Big wheel kick tried to take Mukau out there, but a German suplex with the bridge. Only a 2 count. Tug Mukau going back up to the top. He went for that Tug Splash and got the knees up there. Damon Ryder did.
He went for the Tug Splash, but didn't get the Tug Cash.
Definitely in a big power bomb, just canvassing Damon Ryder down in the ring there.
If I were Damon Ryder right now, I'd be very worried about his prospects for winning this match.
There's that wheelbarrow stunner.
Ooh.
2, and only a 2 count.
It takes a lot to take down a Mukau.
And here we go. Damon Ryder has something else planned.
Ooh, what's he setting up?
Oh, he's got that choke
Is
there.
Mukau gonna fade?
I think it might be enough. That guillotine choke is locked in. Mukau hasn't moved.
It must be very hard to execute a choke with someone who's got such a long snout as Tug Mukau.
He does have the extra length on the front of his face, and here we see Tug Mukau with the 3 amigos, which usually precedes the Tug Splash. So maybe he's thinking of going for something big here again.
Oh no, he's going
1,
for the pin.
2, and only a 2 count.
Will he set up that Tug Splash now? Only time will tell.
No Tug Splash, but a real big knee. And wait a minute.
Oh, it might be.
Tug Splash got the knees up. Damon Ryder did once again. Damon Ryder has all the momentum in his corner at this point, but just as I say that, Tug Mukau.
This match is very hard to track because each time we try and say it's going one way or the other, it seems to immediately spin on its head.
I think that just comes with the case of having 2 heavily competitive, competitors there and a standing Spanish fly.
Will Damon Ryder set up for it?
and the guillotine choke yet again. And I have to think he's got it locked in fully this time.
I think he's gonna fade. Yeah, he's faded.
Tug Mukau put forth a valiant effort, and Damon Ryder, the only person in Covenant Pro Wrestling that has a 3-0, lead here in terms of streak.
If I were him, I'd be feeling very, very confident and ready to take on the world. But he needs to make sure his ego doesn't get out of check. He's a force to be reckoned with, James. He's a force to be reckoned with.
A force to be reckoned with for sure. And here is your winner, via submission, Damon Ryder. And now we move on to our next match here in the action. Lex Hook, the quick draw, versus Deanna Crow. Now, we don't know much about Lex Hook other than the fact that she's a former powerlifter. And honestly, we know nothing about Deanna Crow at all, other than that she was a fierce competitor in the Fatal 5-Way that these two competitors shared together on their debut on episode 1.
But that's not to say that they should be underestimated. The ones we know the least about are always the most dangerous.
That is definitely true. You hear the announcer there saying, "From God knows where," because he's probably the only one that does know where she came from.
I'd be very confused if he did know where, though.
You know, I don't know. I still don't know if she's just a magician or she's here for a fancy party. I'm not quite sure what this attire symbolizes here, but
the question, will she be able to make her opponent disappear?
That is a very good question. Clearing the path to championship gold might be one of her goals here, but as we don't know where she is from, we also don't know what her goals are here, so we'll have to see how this plays out.
She might be intending to bring good to Covenant Pro Wrestling. She might be intending to rule it over with an iron fist. We don't know.
And her opponent, making her way to the ring from Nashville, Tennessee, this is the Quick Draw, Lex Hook. And now we see Lex Hook making her way to the ring. She's got her rope there and her cowbell. And last week, or a few weeks ago, I should say, we said it was less dumbbell, more cowbell. The former power lifter here in Covenant Pro Wrestling to make a name for herself.
What I am curious about, James, is where she got the nickname Quick Draw. Is she perhaps good with a revolver, or is she very, very good at getting off the ground?
You know, I think her name might be Quick Draw just because of the speed that she has in the ring, but, you know, we don't really know too much about Lex Hook right now, but we're hoping to find out a little bit more in the future. But Deanna Crow, making an example of Lex with those knees to the side of the head and then just taunting her.
The Battle of the Enigmas seems to be very, very one-sided.
Definitely, and that neck breaker taking Lex Hook down, and she went up to the top looking for a big leg drop, but did not succeed on that occasion. Lex Hook saying, you know, you're gonna have to do more than that to take me out, and gives her a big punch to the face and then a springboard moonsault there.
Lex Hook showing Deanna it's not her first rodeo here.
It's definitely not her first rodeo, and I think Lex Hook has the right idea, the ground and pound, the least pretty offense you can give her.
Lex Hook has the size advantage, so I'm curious to see if they'll use it.
Definitely has a size advantage, and now we see this arm bar here.
You have the armbar locked in, but it's very difficult to get out of.
But now
And she's out.
we see that strength of Lex Hook just pounding away at the face and the head of Deanna Crow. So I guess she said, see if you can make this black eye disappear. And just slamming her down with authority, and now she has her in powerbomb position and a sit-down powerbomb for good measure.
If I was Deanna Crow, I'd be feeling quite dizzy at this point from the amount of head strikes she's taken.
I feel like Deanna Crow, if she is a magician, wishes she stuck to doves and bunnies, because Lex Hook is probably more than she, bargained for.
Lex Hook, one. Oh, that was a 2 count.
Only a 2 count, but Lex Hook hooking that leg, staying true to her name. And now with the punches, just to the face.
It's a very much more strike heavy match than we saw before. Is this the wrestler they are?
Is that the wrestler they are? Is that the fighter they are? But now Deanna Crow dumped to the outside, and Lex Hook has the power bomb plans, but Deanna Crow managed to just counter out.
I'm being called. 1 moment, sorry.
And my broadcast colleague had something to do outside of the desk, but now we see this bow and arrow stretch being applied by Lex Hook to Deanna Crow. But the submissions and pinfalls don't count out here on the barely padded concrete, so Lex Hook is going to have to take this action back into the ring. In the ring at the 6 count. We all know that in Covenant Pro Wrestling, it is a 20 count to get in this ring. So these women are using the best of their advantage there on that and playing it smart by getting in early. I've been told that my colleague is on his way back and will be joining us shortly. Well, let's see what we have here. A rope break. There shouldn't be any rope breaks, but I guess that our referee, Leonard Seymour, is seeing more than I do here today. And now, Jack, what do you think of this strategy? Just draping that neck over the ropes.
I feel it could cause some permanent damage. I'd be very worried if I was the ref watching this. Might have to call it out for vertebrae damage or anything of that ilk. Oh. Very strong hold here.
And we do have this submission. It seems to be very unorthodox. Got many things going on here, and I think she's trying to make Lex Hook tap out, but Lex Hook said no.
But will she succeed getting out of this one? I think she will.
And she will. But Deanna Crow still has the momentum in her favor, and that big hammerlock suplex there.
Deanna was trying to apply the pressure.
Everything that Deanna seems to do, she's working on a limb. She's working on the vital components of the human body, trying to take Lex Hook out. And now we see...
She's fighting with thought.
I thought she was going to go with a sharpshooter there, but we've seen this before. That boot to the face, or boot to the back of the head, slamming the face on the canvas.
1, 2, 3.
And there we see it. There we see it. Deanna Crow, we may not know much about her. We may not know where she came from or what her motives are. But she told us here today that she is not here to play games.
That she did.
That she did. And your winner of this contest by way of pinfall Deanna Rose. And now we move on to tag team competition where Johnny D and his unlikely partner Hisano are taking on Dragon Kid and Lauren Osborne. We know that recently Johnny D has had problems with Dragon Kid because Dragon Kid didn't like the way that Johnny D had handled his situation with Don Atlas and brutally attacking him after he was in an ambulance. And Hisano, as we all know, attacked Lauren Osborne's best friend, Ashley Walsh, last week in the backstage area. So it seems like these unlikely duos are teaming together for a common goal.
Will this duo last is the question, or will their differing ideologies cause them to break apart?
I think out of the two pairs here, I think Dragon Kid and Lauren Osborne stand a better chance of longevity here. But I do have to say that because Johnny D's wife, Cammy B, is not his partner tonight, I don't think that Johnny D and Hisano will be teaming together very often. This is just a matter of convenience.
So you think it may cause some trouble in paradise, James?
I mean, hopefully it's not any trouble in paradise. They are two very strong personalities, and Hisano herself is a strong personality. I don't imagine that her game plan, at least on Hisano's part, is to be involved with any man. I think she can take care of herself, and this is also just kind of happenstance.
A team of opportunity, if you will.
A team of opportunity, and the opportunity is knocking for both of these teams. And I am so excited to see what happens next.
As am I, James, as am I.
Making their way to the ring from the Welsh Valleys, this is Youngblood Lauren Osborne. Youngblood Lauren Osborne making her way to the ring, and I am sure that she is excited for this contest, not only because she gets to make a new friend here in Dragon Kid, but also to defend her current best friend, Ashley Walsh, who was brutally attacked by Hisano earlier this week.
I'm quite surprised to see her here, to be honest, James, because the word is backstage, from what I've been listening to, is she's known as a bit of a coward.
I don't think she's known as a bit of a coward. She is shy in social situations, but once she steps into that ring, as long as she gets past that first rope there, her demeanor changes entirely.
But perhaps it's not even the same person taking reins, if you catch my drift.
Making their way to the ring. Precisely. From Youngstown, Ohio, weighing in at 289 pounds, this is the Raging Demon of Youngstown, Johnny D. And now we see Johnny D making his return last week after being brutally assaulted with a steel chair by Don Atlas, and then taking his liberties with Don while Don was being loaded into an ambulance. The ambulance was meant for Johnny D, but Don Atlas left in it, and we don't know if he's going to be back.
It is highly debated whether he'll be back. From the injuries he sustained last week, I highly doubt it.
Johnny D definitely showing us what he is made of and what he is capable of. And you gotta think, the much larger man Johnny D has to be something of a fear for Dragon Kid.
Dragon Kid is used to fighting bigger opponents, so that is his thing. He may be small, but he is fast.
So you think speed is going to be his number one weapon here?
It's going to be his number one weapon and number one asset, I believe.
Approaching the ring from Kyoto, Japan, this is Hisano! Hisano making her return to Covenant Pro Wrestling after losing in her debut match on episode 1 as part of that fatal 5-way with the women's division. Hisano did not like how Lauren Osborne gave her best friend Ashley Walsh the win there, because it seemed like it was an unfair advantage. And this is what has really caused Hisano to take her liberties with both Lauren Osborne and Ashley Walsh to make a statement that that's not how it works in the Yakuza fight clubs, and that's not how it works in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
It's very pertinent bringing up the Yakuza. I believe the Yakuza do believe in honor, so she might have felt dishonored when Osborne did that.
Absolutely. Honor is everything, and the Yakuza honor is everything for Hisano. And even though you might not like her methods, she sees her ideologies play out exactly the way she wants, however she wants to enforce it.
So there is method to Hisano's madness, despite people may not want to accept that. There just is methods.
There are methods, and here we see Johnny D and Dragon Kid starting off this contest. Oh, it looks like we saw this last week. It looks like he's going for the delayed vertical suplex here on Dragon Kid.
Johnny D immediately showing his physicality against Dragon Kid here.
Immediately saying that you are nothing to me. I can pick you up and throw you around like a piece of paper. And now we see Dragon Kid being flattened like a piece of paper.
Do we know what the D in Johnny D actually stands for, James?
Johnny D? I don't know, but if I had to wager a guess, it would be Johnny Devastation, because it seems like that's what he brings whenever he walks through the door. And we see those spinning punches going for a big splash, and Dragon Kid able to avert it.
Using his speed, as I said he would before.
I think Johnny D went for a big Superman punch there, but was countered by Dragon Kid's Spanish Fly. Trying to use that speed again.
One of the things Dragon Kid might want to do is use Johnny D's momentum against him.
He definitely wants to look at using that momentum against him, but it looks like we might get our first tag in this contest.
Vicious elbows now.
Vicious elbows indeed, going for the pinfall. A 2 count only. Way too early in this match.
Did Osborne have to break it up though? I couldn't see.
Osborne may have had to break it up, but you know, she is loyal to her friends, and I think that translates pretty well into tag team competition. Dragon Kid fighting his way out of the corner, but Johnny D he's too big, pushing off Dragon Kid like he's nothing.
Johnny D is like a wall compared to Dragon Kid.
Like a wall, ragdolling Dragon Kid into the center of the ring, but now the women are tagged in, and Lauren Osborne and Hisano going at it for the second time with just a different context here.
It's a much more personal match now, I feel, though, James.
Much more personal match for sure. And then we see that rolling uppercut from Lauren Osborne, taking the bigger Hisano off her feet, but Hisano with that jawbreaker there. Lauren Osborne, she seems to be doing everything she can to avert much of what Hisano is bringing to the table.
I'm hearing a lot of Welsh fans cheering for Osborne right now, considering she's so open about her nationality.
I hear we have a bunch of Welsh fans here in Phoenix, Arizona, and a German suplex on the barely padded concrete, sending Lauren Osborne for a loop, I imagine.
Osborne may be known as the shy one, but she's certainly not shy when it comes to wrestling.
She is definitely not shy with that Russian leg sweep and the knees to the midsection there.
A brutal back and forth, which they might want to bring back into the ring, which they are.
And you see Hisano telegraphing that forearm attempt by Lauren Osborne. And now Hisano bringing her into the corner near Johnny D. Now, I know Johnny D, I don't think he would hit a woman, but at the same time, with his rage, he is the raging demon. I don't want to put it past him. Lauren Osborne definitely needs to get out of that corner.
She's in the danger zone, that's for sure.
Nice suplex there. And she's got Hisano in the correct corner for her purposes. With those elbows to the midsection. Yet again, Hisano is just fighting this off at every step.
It seems both Osborne and Dragon Kid have the size disadvantage on this team.
It definitely does seem that way. And after that big Uranagi by Hisano, Lauren Osborne is still fighting with those knees.
Brutal knees at that.
She said, you want to give me a knee, I'll give you a knee as well. And our referee, Leonard Seymour, seeing Hisano grasp firmly at that rope. You know, it's quite interesting.
Osborne is moving her knees very efficiently this match.
She has been delivering the knees very efficiently. And it's interesting for me to see Dragon Kid come into his own. We saw him step in for a moment to help out his partner. And he doesn't seem to fear Johnny D at all. Big chops. I imagine this is going to be a suplex. Oh my God.
Ooh, into the corner.
I don't know how she's not broken in half after that one.
Well, it takes a lot more to take down the accuser, I'll tell you that much.
Is she gonna do it again? Oh my God! Lauren Osborne may be shy, but she is not shy when it comes to inflicting violence.
I think Hisano needed that tag, to be honest.
Dragon Kid had his face draped across that turnbuckle. I'm sure that doesn't feel nice, but... And now we have an inside slam position and a backbreaker.
Ooh.
And another.
He's going to need a chiropractor by the end of this match.
Johnny D looking for something big here.
But will he hit it?
Johnny D going for that low drop kick.
Yet another tag.
You know, you got to respect these tags in this match.
Will she jump? Will she get them out and do that risky maneuver, or will she back off?
And
no, she will do it.
She does jump, and Hisano is able to deflect that. I'm not sure if Dragon Kid got in the way.
It did look like Dragon Kid may have almost been hit.
We saw that big Falcon arrow there. And lots of these matches tonight have gone to the outside. In our first and second episode, we saw that ramping up to be more common.
It seems our stars are gaining some confidence.
It may very well be confident.
Like, they didn't know what they were able to do in the first two episodes. Now they know they're able to get outside the ring, inflict the damage they need to do, as long as they're back in within the time limit.
We absolutely see that happening, and we also see Dragon Kid taking some brutal shots, but able to fight off Johnny D for long enough to...
Oh!
Wow, that diving DDT outside the ring, yet again on that barely padded concrete. And we say barely padded, it's less than a quarter of an inch. So that barely has any give.
We say barely padded for legal reasons.
We say barely padded for legal reasons, for sure. But don't tell our insurance company. A big moonsault. I don't know if he got all of it, but it definitely was effective.
I think he was able to hook the shoulder.
He may have very well hooked that shoulder. Hisano going for another brutal kick or another knee, only to be met with Lauren Osborne's Hurricane Rana.
It seems that Hisano's side is starting to run out of steam, and the stamina and speed of Osborne and Dragon Kid starting to take an advantage.
A very unique fall-away slam pin there from Lauren Osborne, showcasing that she's not just quickness and speed. She does have some strength to her. But look out, Hisano's got some plans. She's looking for the package pile driver. She calls this the Shiharai, but a counter by Lauren Osborne with a big clothesline, and Lauren Osborne going airborne. Is this the airborne Osborne? And it is!
Will this end the match though?
Only a 2 count. And now with that knee on the back and just bridging Hisano's spine up with that choke.
I'm surprised her partner hasn't come in to stop this yet.
Dragon Kid came in. I think he was quite confused that Johnny D didn't come in as well, but maybe there is no allegiance here between Hisano and Johnny D.
There doesn't seem to be the same amount of trust between those two as there is between Dragon Kid and Osborne. Which is very interesting.
But now we see the tag, and Dragon Kid coming in yet again.
The physicality demonstrated once again. 2.
Only a 2 count. That was an enormous slam there. I'm not sure how Dragon Kid has the will and the endurance to counter the way that he is right now, slinging Johnny D into the corner. And I think he might be going for the triple flame. The triple blaze, I believe, actually.
Come on. 2.
And only a 2 count. Going up yet again. And a frog splash on Johnny D.
A very aerial match for Dragon Kid right now.
Dragon Kid electing not to go for the pin, rather tagging into his partner, Lauren Osborne. Lauren Osborne being hit with a brutal kick by Hisano and draped over that top rope.
That top rope may look soft, but it certainly isn't.
Definitely, much like all of these holds that we're seeing right now. And big, vicious elbows raining down on Lauren Osborne. Do you think it rains elbows in Wales?
I believe it rains buckets, not elbows.
Well, today it's raining elbows. And we see Hisano with that big Death Valley driver slam there.
And Hisano is raining pain down on Osborne.
1, 2. Got me counting a little bit early in this match. This contest has me on the edge of my seat. Referee Leonard.
We saw you the whole seat, but all you need is the edge.
Exactly. Referee Leonard Seymour doing the best that he can in this high-octane competition with lots of things happening. Hisano with that brutal knee. I believe she calls that the Fear Vanquisher, and she was going for that Shiharai again, but Lauren Osborne countering it in much the same way as the previous occasion.
Seems that whatever Hisano's trying isn't working against Osborne. It's not battering her down.
It is not, and we see smart tag team wrestling going on here, and a big head scissors from Dragon Kid taking the Demon of Youngstown off his feet. And I don't know what he expected to do there. I don't know if that was a drop kick maneuver or a springboard attempt.
I think he may be suffering from the concussion he sustained in this match, James.
That very well may be the case. And now we see Johnny D wrenching at the leg of Dragon Kid, and now got him in powerbomb position. But I think the wrenching at the leg is quite honestly the more painful of the two, especially when you consider that most of Dragon Kid's offense is aerial maneuvers.
Take away mobility and Dragon Kid's done for.
What are we gonna see here? Is this gonna be a German suplex?
A German suplex from a Welshman. A Welshman, should I say?
If it works, it works, and I think we're gonna see a big brutal knee. And more
using her elbow moves very efficiently.
Obliterating the clavicle there of Hisano.
Hisano's going to be covered in bruises by the end of this match.
I think Lauren Osborne trying to pick her spot and just dumps her on the canvas with a big fisherman driver there. And airborne Osborne once again. 1,
2, nope.
And we see that Johnny D attempted to get into this matchup and basically distracted referee Leonard Seymour. And that's not something that happens very often, so Johnny D using his experience to do that.
You may see more, but you can't see everything, James, unfortunately.
Nice arm drag by Dragon Kid. A big springboard moonsault onto the back. You don't see it happen onto the back very often, but it still hurts just as much.
I'd argue it hurts more, James.
That very well may be the case. I know both of these competitors are in pain right now. Dragon Kid with a kick to the midsection. Another.
Who can weather that pain? Who can weather that pain is the question here.
Let's see if he can weather this pain right now. That was, oh my God. I cannot believe the Espiritu just took out Johnny D.
Is Johnny D alive?
I don't know.
Yeah, he's getting up. I think he's getting up, is he? Or is he being dragged away?
We may need to call that ambulance yet again for Johnny D, and maybe this time Dragon Kid will send him riding in it, unlike last week. And your winners of this contest via pinfall, the team of Dragon Kid and Lauren Osborne. And now we move on to singles competition yet again with Jacob Nitro, the fire starter, taking on the Anubis assassin, Kieran Malachi. Neither of these competitors have a win here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and I just know that they're itching to get there first. Making their way to the ring from
They're very, very
Edinburgh,
hungry for it, I feel.
This is the Anubis assassin, Kieran Malachi. Very, very hungry indeed. Jack Colby, we are going to see a wonderful contest here. I know Kieran Malachi came back from several months of not being an in-ring competitor, and he is happy to be back. But this is not the same Kieran Malachi that we saw previously in the CWL. He has a brand new attitude, and maybe he's carrying a chip on his shoulder or something else.
He seems to be embracing the Egyptian side of his trips more than anything.
He is definitely embracing the Egyptian vacation that he had several months ago. We see, the guy from Edinburgh, Scotland, taking on more of the Egyptian aesthetic, which is definitely going to be interesting to see how it translates.
Rahway, New Jersey, weighing in at 218 pounds, he is the fire starter.
And here's the fire star coming up to the ring.
Jacob Nitro, indeed the fire starter. He doesn't give a shit who you are as long as he can prove that he is the biggest dog in the yard. So, is that his goal here today?
It could be, James. Or it could just be to get a win.
Could be to get a win. We know that Kieran Malachi is literally here to vibe with Covenant Pro Wrestling. That was what he said he wanted to do here. But Jacob Nitro, Jacob Nitro, you got to think that he's disappointed with his previous performance here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and he would like to position himself in title contention. You know, there's a lot in the air right now about when those titles are going to be decided, when they're going to be awarded, and Jacob Nitro is trying to make the most right now, I think, of the chance.
Nitro's trying to prove he's not just some more, he's the top dog.
And we do have to remember that he's not just some dog, he wants to be the top dog, but a dog versus a wolf is a little bit different, and that's what we saw of his previous loss to William Black.
And now he's going against a jackal since Kieran Malachi has Anubis on his back, which is quite similar to a wolf. So it'd be interesting to see how he compares to that.
Definitely, and that big slam right off the back by Kieran Malachi, showing that he is strong, that he is ready to take on his opponent. And an early pin here. I don't know if this is.
I don't think that was meant to end the match, James. I think that was to show dominance.
Either to show dominance or wear your opponent out. Jacob Nitro attempting to slam Kieran Malachi off of the top rope, with Kieran Malachi telegraphing and coming down with a double axe handle of his own.
If I was Nitro, I'd be very worried right now.
Power slam position, hook the leg, only a 2 count, or maybe a 1.
Does Malachi want to end this so early?
I think, when you're in there with someone like Jacob Nitro, you want to get the job done before he really has a chance to heat up. And Kieran Malachi with this delayed vertical suplex, it looks like. And yes, slams him down with authority.
The question is, are these early pins just going to enrage Nitro?
That is yet to be seen, but may well be the case. Kieran Malachi in fireman's carry position right now, switching to powerbomb position and slams Jacob Nitro. All of these matches going to the outside.
It seems they believe they can cause more damage outside the ring, James.
Well, they damn well can.
Ooh.
And that fisherman suplex brain buster there, that
Nitro demonstrating why he's called the fire starter here.
definitely the announce team, we've got to look out here.
Bit too close for comfort, James.
And just gonging his head off the side of that ring post.
I'm pretty sure I heard it.
I'm pretty sure everyone heard it. I'm sure that people in Egypt heard that.
People in his home country of Scotland heard it.
That big power bomb there on the outside, now stomping away at Kieran Malachi. Jacob Nitro is proving that he is indeed the fire starter, and he is running a blaze here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. But we have to say, this only matters if you're in the ring. All this fighting outside. Oh no, this is gonna be brutal.
Oh,
big power slam.
We just have to hope that Nitro doesn't burn out.
That definitely is a possibility, and a backbreaker into stretching the spine of Jacob Nitro.
Nitro's getting his own personal chiropractic session this evening.
Well, we said in our previous contest that someone would need a chiropractor. It looks like the resident chiropractor of Covenant Pro Wrestling is Kieran Malachi. And just as I say that, slamming the spine of Jacob Nitro on the guardrail.
You gotta be very careful with situations like that, as the spine can be dislocated.
It can be shattered, dislocated, a number of things can happen, and Kieran Malachi just standing in the corner, catching his breath, but now Jacob Nitro coming back into the ring. Alabama slam position, no counter, power bomb position, and a big power bomb by Jacob Nitro. Jacob.
You going up top.
That was the Nitro Boost. 1, 2. And a kick out. But he might be going for it here again, and I'm not sure that he can kick out once more. And a Nitro boost. Hook the leg. 1, 2, 3.
Nitro blazing a trail.
Blazing a trail indeed, and you have to wonder where that trail is going to lead.
That is the question on everyone's mind tonight.
And the winner of this contest via pinfall, the fire starter, Jacob Nitro.
And now we've got the Entertainer coming out here right now. He's not scheduled for in-ring competition. We're not quite sure what he's here to do, but we know that if Entertainer is here, it is known to be unpleasant. What do you have to say about that, Jack?
We always know where Entertainer goes, chaos follows. So I'm very curious to see what he's here to say or do. He seems to have changed his demeanor from last match, though. Like, he seems to be very playful. He's come out here a lot more serious than we normally see him. What do you think, James?
I think, Entertainer has had this shift from the red and black aesthetic that we were used to seeing him in, and now he's integrated some of this blue and red. It may signify a change in his
Boys and girls,
Demeanor?
Yeah, definitely.
wondering why I'm here. Well, last week I paid a visit certain Mr. Sheridan. He seems to have been ignoring me, despite our previous engagements. He likes to consider himself a charity man, a man of the people. I'd like to reveal he's not. He just wants the attention. He restarted. He made a new wrestling company because he needed the attention. Because his parents didn't give them him.
Will Sheridan mustn't be happy.
Will Sheridan is not going to be happy, but we see Entertainer just gesturing there, or gesturing, I should say. He is a jester of sorts. So,
Yeah, the gesturing jester.
Will Sheridan rushing down to the ring, unafraid of Entertainer. We see a punch, and another, and another. In the buffer overflow. What the hell is this?
Whoa! Who's he?
That is Butch, but this is Brad Winters.
Why is Winters here?
Brad Winters, shook Will Sheridan's hand on episode 1. You've got to think there's some kind of respect there. And Brad Winters going just directly at Butch. Fireman's carry position. Will Sheridan holding his own since the tides have turned. And a big power bomb to the outside.
Has this backfired on Entertainer, has it?
It seems like it may have.
A uncanny alliance between Sheridan and Brad Winters seemed to be forming.
Definitely, and Brad Winters taking Butch away from the ring, and that might be the best maneuver.
We've got two different matches going on at once, basically, here, James.
Basically, and it looks like a fisherman's suplex.
Is the concrete padded up there?
I don't think so. Wait, what is this?
Where'd it go?
Butch is gone.
I'm not hallucinating this, am I, James?
No, I don't think so. And Entertainer seems to be gone. Will Sheridan is confused. Where did he go? Brad Winters. Brad Winters
and Will Sheridan.
and Will Sheridan. You've got to think that's a team that you won't take lightly, especially if you're Butch and the Entertainer. But here we move on to our next contest. Bailey Ray, the idolizer of ECW, ready to get a little hardcore with her opponent from last week, Callie Kaplan, but this time in one-on-one competition. Callie Kaplan, of course, the Neon Panther, got the win last week, and it's going to be possibly her goal to repeat the same success.
You may think that Callie Kaplan's encouraged by the name Uproar, considering her whole Panther aesthetic.
Definitely, that might be a Neon Panther uproar.
Making their way to the ring.
But Bailey Ray is not to be taken lightly. She is light, but she is being taken very, very seriously.
I'm very curious if she'll ever actually use that pool cue.
I don't think it's a pool cue. I think that is one of the traditional kendo sticks that we are known for here in Covenant Pro Wrestling and in pro wrestling in general. But I think she is just as violent and just as aggressive with a pool cue versus a kendo stick any day of the week.
All I'm going to say is I wouldn't want to be hit with one.
I wouldn't want to be hit with one either. I think a pool cue might feel a little bit better than a kendo stick, just in my opinion. But here we have the Neon Panther,
Callie Kaplan.
And her opponent, making her way
Callie
to the
Kaplan,
ring
somewhat of
from
an enigma.
England.
You know, she has
The
this
time
positive
bender,
personality,
the Neon
but she's also
Panther,
so aggressive.
Callie
She's known as the time
Kaplan.
bender, and there is more to her than meets the eye.
Is she confirmed to be able to bend time here, James?
I mean, I think whether or not she is concerned about bending time, I think she's going to have a good time bending Bailey Ray.
Will Bailey Ray allow her to bend her, though? That is the question.
I don't know. We know that she is known for that, that submission hold. She's known for a variety of submissions, and the Kaplan mutilation could be locked in here tonight, and it could be over.
We're making speculations before the match even happens there, James. We might need to hold our horses, really.
I definitely don't want to disparage or disrespect Bailey Ray, but that definitely is something to look out for. And Callie Kaplan, the aggressor here in the outset of this match, slamming Bailey Ray into the corner and having a big splash. Off this splash, what's gonna
As you very mentioned, very aggressive, but very positive.
Exactly, and a big moonsault there. And we see just stomping away or dropping that knee on the arm. That'll take away a lot of the repertoire of any wrestler. With Bailey Ray saying she's not so affected and hitting her in the head with that big kick.
Is it working the leg now?
I think she's working the leg. Maybe she has some agenda here or some game plan we're not aware of. And a big spinning code breaker there by Callie Kaplan. But Callie, here comes the spin again, and a different sort, just ragdolling.
I might want to be careful if we could get herself dizzy and make herself disoriented.
We talk about working the leg. That is what you call working the leg. And Callie Kaplan going up top with a big moonsault.
Callie displaying her athleticism here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
She is not just a flashy competitor. She is a very technical and calibrated competitor, and a 2 count there by Callie Kaplan.
She's not just a competitor, she's the Neon Panther, James.
Definitely a Neon competitor, a Panther competitor, and a big moonsault there again, hooking the leg. 1, 2, and referee Leonard Seymour is saying it was only a 2 count. Bailey Ray getting that shoulder up.
If I was Bailey, I'd be very, very worried and wanted to turn the tires around about now.
And that might be the opportunity.
Perhaps Callie was getting a bit too cocky.
I've got to say, this is a good strategy. Oh, but Callie Kaplan able to avert that, and another code breaker there.
Callie Kaplan's a very flashy wrestler from what I'm seeing so far tonight.
But nothing about that right there is flashy. Bailey Ray just taking a hold of that arm and that wrist and wrenching away. And a big diving headbutt.
Very risky move to deploy here tonight.
You know, it is a very risky move, especially if you're the size of someone like Bailey Ray. Those spinal, you know, her vertebrae must be just hating her right now. But then we see working again on the arm. She doesn't seem to be affected by that maneuver she pulled off. Nice drop kick.
He's a very mobile wrestler.
Definitely a very mobile wrestler. A very interesting outfit. But Callie Kaplan fighting back, but Bailey Ray fighting back as well. Got that wrist hooked.
Back and forth.
Just brutal headbutts to that wrist.
Have we checked Bailey for any metal implants on her head? Because she seems to be employing her head quite a bit.
I'm not quite sure if she's had any, you know, modifications or some sort of surgery to have metal implants in her head. But even without it, that has got to dislocate the opponent's wrist. And we see it again. And I'm not sure that this is what Callie Kaplan expected.
I certainly didn't expect it, James. That's for sure.
Bailey Ray.
Are we going to go out the ring again tonight?
I think she was going for a rolling cutter or a rolling code breaker of her own, but a big spine buster counter by Callie Kaplan, and those knees to the midsection of Bailey Ray, sending her back down to the canvas, and the momentum is now perfectly in Callie Kaplan's corner.
A very knee-heavy show tonight here in Phoenix, where?
Where Phoenix, Arizona, in that neon sunset. 1, 2, and only a 2 count. Referee Leonard Seymour on top of the action.
Jet lag getting on top of me there, James. Sorry.
We know that you're zooming all around the world every day, new place, new time zone. But Bailey Ray, is she going for one of her big moves here? Kinshasa!
Ooh. This has got to be it.
1, 2. Wait, only
2?
I think it may have been just a 1.
Was it a 1? How is she surviving?
I think that might be the time bending we've heard of.
Did you... How?
I don't know how, but I know what is. And now what is happening is a brutal attack by Bailey Ray on those extremities, those metacarpals there.
I'm surprised Callie can even move her hands now. To be honest, James, her hands have been targeted throughout the course of this match.
You know, Callie Kaplan, we know, has her eyes set on championship gold. We have to wonder if she's going to be able to even button that belt around her waist if she ever gains it with those damaged hands.
The hands are very fragile indeed.
So many bones in the hands, definitely. And just wrenching at that arm. And what are we going to see here?
Ooh.
But Bailey Ray
Reversal.
saying, no way, Jose. And deflecting that with the forearms there.
Big kick there.
Definitely a big kick.
And a big stomp again. Her poor fingers.
You've got to think there are at least a few broken fingers there. I think I see even from here we've got some bruising.
I wouldn't call them broken, I'd call them shattered at this point. Yeah.
More like powdered, finely powdered fingers. And another matchup tonight going outside.
They all seem to have allergies within the ring, it seems. Like, they don't want to stay in the ring, despite the fact that's the point where they're meant to be. It's quite dangerous outside the ring.
Callie Kaplan pulling out some of the more advanced moves in her repertoire while also mixing it up with some simple, dirty, effective maneuvers. Just taking out Bailey Ray with a big crossbody.
As we said earlier, James, it's only barely padded for legal purposes. So don't expect padding to do too much to dull the pain for Bailey here.
I'd like to remind all the children watching at home, please do not try this at home. Try it at your friend's house where they can get sued and not your parents.
Try it on the trampoline.
And also, while we say that, we're just jesting, if you will. Don't break your necks, kids. But now we see this contest is still outside. Bailey Ray has Callie Kaplan in a very precarious position here, slamming her.
Callie Kaplan struggle to stand at this point.
I don't know how she's able to stand or counter any of these maneuvers. Callie Kaplan going for a big kick. Bailey Ray able to avert it. Again, pressed against that guardrail. What's Bailey Ray gonna do?
No.
Hanging her across the guardrail and a big kick to the head. I cannot believe the aggression, the intensity coming out of such a small package right now. But Bailey Ray, even though right now she's in a bad position, has had this contest in her corner. Wow.
Callie Kaplan at least has the decency not to throw her opponent into the crowd.
Did not throw her opponent into the crowd, but you have to wonder, they've been outside of the ring for so long. Do they even remember that this is a wrestling contest?
I think they just want to kill each other, to be honest, James.
Well, just as we say that, Callie Kaplan going back into the ring, but now outside again. Never mind. It seems like she has her eyes on the prize here. Callie Kaplan putting her opponent into the ring.
Callie Kaplan stalking her opponent.
Stalking her opponent, putting her exactly where she matters or where she needs to be. And another armbar just wrenching back.
Will she have arms by the end of this match is the real question.
Big kick there. Are we going to see the neon sunset?
Here we are, James.
Yet again. 1,
1, 2.
And Bailey Ray refuses to say die. I don't know how.
Are we sure that Bailey Ray isn't taking some sort of enhancement or something? Because neither of these competitors should be able to stand at this point.
And able to counter that big delayed vertical suplex with a chop block. Bailey Ray, a Kinshasa. 1, 2. That had to be 3. Leonard Seymour.
That was... Is Seymour being paid off?
I don't know. It's a new company, new referee. Bailey Ray getting those kicks.
Kaplan coming back with a vengeance here.
And going up top. This could be a risky maneuver. Leonard Seymour's telling her right now, you better get down from there. And a big moonsault getting down from there as hard as she can. 2. And a kick out. Oh my God.
Are we sure this is Bailey Ray?
And another springboard moonsault. Callie
Are we sure
Kaplan.
Kaplan's not just killing with her now?
Callie Kaplan going for something big.
Move.
Big counter. And just choking.
Strangling her.
2.
How?
Leonard Seymour has his work cut out for him today, and Bailey Ray going for something big here.
Oh, another big kick.
Kinshasa!
1, 2.
And a kick out.
How are either of these competitors standing at this point?
I don't know. I am unsure what's going to happen here. And there we are, the modified Kaplan mutilation, but another rope break. There shouldn't be rope breaks in Covenant Pro Wrestling. Leonard Seymour is seeing too much.
Will Sheridan will have a word with Seymour later tonight.
And whether we like it or not, Callie Kaplan still able to capitalize on those maneuvers that she pulled. And she is now 2-0, undefeated in Covenant Pro Wrestling. But we have to say, Bailey Ray, she showed us something different tonight.
And your winner,
Always surprised if Callie's happened to go into that ambulance too.
Callie Kaplan.
Due to her broken fingers and shattered bones.
I'm not sure if there is double wide ambulances, but I think that is next on the budget. But here we go, going into our next contest. William Black, the Wolf of War, the Jarl of Wrestling, taking on Chris Edwards, the Sauce.
The following matchup is scheduled for one fall with a time limit of 20 minutes. Making his way to the ring from Biloxi, Mississippi, weighing in at 269 pounds, he is the Wolf of War, the Jarl of Wrestling, William Black.
And William Black making his way to the ring. Oh, wow. The production truck somehow messed up on the nameplates here. But that is William Black, and he is 1-0 in Covenant Pro Wrestling, and somebody is losing their paycheck here tonight.
Not only their paycheck, maybe their life, because that Claymore isn't fake.
That Claymore is not fake, and William Black, the Wolf of War, the Jarl of Wrestling, as he is so called now, making his way to the ring. Chris Edwards is his opponent here tonight, and you have to wonder, is the faux pas going to factor in to the outcome of this match?
William Black is such an imposing figure to face in the ring. If I were Chris Edwards, I'd be very afraid right now.
And hopefully they don't have the nameplates mixed up. Let's see. Chris Edwards pops up perfectly. But more than that, Chris Edwards is a fierce competitor, and he has already pinpointed his target as the Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship, and DeSauce would like to spill a little blood.
He's a self-described master of all things saucy, James. What do you think he means by this?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just, spaghetti is his forte. I don't know if he does some salsa dancing. All we know is Chris Edwards is feeling himself, and William Black is definitely going to be feeling some of that offense.
Is he perhaps sponsored by Heinz Ketchup?
The 52 different flavors in Heinz ketchup or whatever it is, 67, I'm not sure. But William Black doesn't care about any of that. Early pinfall and a 2 count right off the bat.
That makes me question Chris Edwards a little bit here.
It makes me question a lot of things. I'm wondering, oh wow, what a show of disrespect by William Black to Chris Edwards. Those middle fingers fully erect. And kicking Chris Edwards and just annihilating him.
I think William Black might break his toes at this point.
Chris Edwards going for that early pin as well. This contest can go either way, and a big back elbow just deflecting Chris Edwards, but Chris is too quick. But William Black says none of that.
I'd like to question if William Black's hair is getting in the way during this match.
He does have a full head of hair, and I fully expect William Black to be on the defensive when it comes to Chris Edwards taking care or taking advantage of that. And we see just hammering away in that Cobra Clutch type maneuver here.
Will he be able to put William Black out so early in this in competition?
I am so surprised that William Black was, you know, allowing himself to be taken down in that regard. Definitely not something that I expected.
William Black isn't just a man, he's a mountain of muscle. You've got to remember this.
He's the Jarl of wrestling. He's more than a man.
And he would like to set an example of all who showed treason to him.
He would more than like to show an example. He would delight in showing an example of what it takes to succeed in Covenant Pro Wrestling. But right now, Chris Edwards was going toe-to-toe with William Black with those shots to the midsection, but William Black just tossing him into the barricade.
William Black seems to be goading Chris Edwards almost right now. Pacing like a wolf, which he is one.
We see a lot of taunting, a lot of gesturing, a lot of picking their spots, and Chris Edwards up against that guardrail. Still, you have to wonder how winded he is, but those vital seconds that William Black gave Chris may have given him the opportunity.
If I was a crowd, I'd be very worried right now about collateral damage.
I am worried about the children in the audience right now. These two big behemoths of men fighting so closely to that small child in that green shirt. I'm hoping that nobody gets hurt here tonight. Big knees, a big combination, taking... Wow. Did you just see William...
Speaking of people getting hurt tonight, I'm pretty sure there's some people in the locker room who would delight in seeing that.
I think so as well. You know, you take either one of these competitors out of the running for the Covenant Pro Wrestling Championship, and you have a better shot of getting that championship yourself. And William Black and Chris Edwards are tried, true, and challenged competitors that have, you know, been basically vetted to be the top tier competitors in Covenant Pro Wrestling, just based on their history.
They are the ones to watch.
They are the ones to watch indeed. And a big moonsault yet again to the back in this match. Hooking the leg. A 2 count.
How is it not over?
Chris Edwards is looking to get saucy.
Will he deliver the 50-50 herbs and spices?
And then we have a big slam there. A big burning hammer.
But not burning enough, it seems, to be able to end this match.
And a wheel kick. Setting up another one of those burning hammers. The sauce is feeling saucy. 1, 2, 3. And that is it. The production truck is running in full effect now. The names are correct, and that name says Chris Edwards.
And I think someone from the production truck has just been seen leaving the arena.
I'm not sure if he's leaving or getting a drink of water. Will Sheridan is known to be a little lenient, but you have to wonder what kind of effects that is going to have on the confidence of whoever that was.
I mean, he must fear for his life after he seemed to target William Black by getting the names wrong.
Well, right now I feel fear for William Black's life in terms of the brutal beating he just took from Chris Edwards. But if I know William Black, that is not the end of this story.
William Black will always bounce back.
And speaking of stories, this is turning into a story of its own. We have the Chopper, Seth Dallas, going head to head with Jamie fucking Clark. And what I hear is these two, they aren't liking each other very much right now. So this is going to be a hell of a main event.
And it is scheduled for one fall.
Am I reading this right, Will? I mean, James Clark's only 3 years old.
Technically, you know,
At
portal
256
shenanigans,
pounds,
whatever you
this
call it,
is Jamie
definitely contributed to the man that you see here today. The fully developed athletic male is technically only 3 years old, but 3 years of age and a wealth of experience. Which one of those outweighs the other?
Only time will tell. Only time will tell.
Only time will tell indeed. You know, of course, Jamie Clark, the son of Alex Clark and, you know, Cassidy Clark, the heritage of this family definitely stands in Jamie Clark's favor.
Maybe, do you think his parents are in the crowd right now?
I think the King's men and King woman of CWL formerly definitely have other things to do, but Prince Jamie, Royal Jammers as he is called, is definitely looking forward to this
and
contest.
their opponent, hailing from Carson City, Nevada, weighing in at 251 pounds, this is the Chopper, Seth Dallas.
And we see Seth Dallas. Seth Dallas is no slouch. He is known as the Chopper for, you know, very good reasons.
But will he be able to chop through Jamie Clark?
That is the question. As we alluded to before, these two competitors do not like each other at this moment. They have somewhat of a feud going, and we're not sure where it's going to end up. But Dallas and Clark, there seems to be some animosity there, especially because last week they were in a triple threat match with Chris Edwards and did not pick up the win.
Perhaps they're blaming each other.
Blaming each other or posturing to show which one is the better competitor, I'm not sure, but either way, this is going to be a main event caliber match because both of these competitors are just that top tier.
Keep your eyes open, folks. That's all I'm going to say.
Do not fall asleep. Put the children to bed, but stay wide awake and alert because this is going to be an absolute barn burner. You've got to think that Will Sheridan is watching right now. These two competitors, the animosity that they carry for one another, but also the talent that they have, that could be the makings of a champion.
It very well could be, but they both seem to be coming in very hot in this match.
The heat has been elevated here in Phoenix, Arizona. And this match could go either way, but right now, Jamie Clark is on the offensive after a good counter, getting those knees up.
Ooh, big slam there from Jamie Clark.
That big teardrop suplex there. And a big knee.
Oh, not enough of a hand stamp. There's too many of them here tonight, James.
Too many hand stomping.
They have to use their hands for writing.
As long as it's not my hands, I guess I'll let it fly. Just like Seth Dallas. I think we're all getting our names confused right now. Jack,
It's the hair, James.
It's the hair. That's exactly what it is. They do have similar hairstyles, but, offensively, they are widely different. Seth Dallas showing a little bit more of his athletic side with that big kick to the side of the temple, and Jamie Clark is reeling with a big Phoenix splash.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jamie Clark is diagnosed with a concussion by the end of the night.
I imagine both of these men are in danger of that. And a big lariat. And a big lariat similar to Michael Young, who he was trained by in the CWL. The 585 lariat, that discus clothesline.
Do you think he'll be the king of lariats within Covenant Wrestling, though, James?
That depends on whether Michael Young shows up, I suppose.
That it does.
Seth Dallas not ready to yet be out of this contest. But Jamie
It
Clark
takes a lot to take Dallas down. Ooh, big miss there from Clark.
going for that big springboard forearm maneuver, but not quite getting all of it. I don't think he got any of it, and more hand stomping.
There's going to be dislocated fingers at least by now.
Yeah, I think Covenant Pro Wrestling may in fact be the dislocated finger company, because yet again, going for that standing shooting star there.
All I'm going to say, folks, is don't ask for a signature.
Yeah, all of our competitors from this point forward are working on 1, 2, almost a 3 count.
Very close.
As I was saying, all of our competitors from this point forward are working on stamps only. At this point, whatever signature you get is going to be pre-manufactured and a big spinning elbow drop.
That spinning elbow is anything but pre-manufactured.
Definitely. And Seth Dallas, for whatever reason, seems to be exhausting himself. Went for that big moonsault.
That looked painful, that did, James.
We see this figure 4 maneuver trying to take out the legs of Seth Dallas. Jamie Clark has an idea, working on the limbs.
Maybe he feels that he hasn't worn him down yet.
It definitely looked painful, and we see chops and punches and knees and bunches. Jamie Clark going up for a fisherman's suplex, hooks the leg but decides against getting the pin. And that Russian bottom.
2, 3.
That big Uranagi type maneuver. And here we see Jamie Clark looking for that 585 lariat. And he hits it, folding Seth Dallas in half. Is that it? And that is it. Jamie Clark making himself a winner here tonight and making his parents proud. You love
And
to
a very,
see it.
very well-deserved win there for
And
Jamie
that
Clark.
was one hell of a main event. We see all the wonderful action, the action-packed, high-octane action we saw in this match, in this replay. But Jamie Clark, there could only be one victor, and you're looking at him.
And your winner, Jamie Clark!
Making his family proud, showing that royalty runs in the blood. And that will be it for us today at Covenant Pro Wrestling.